Hello everyone, welcome to our video class section of plus 2 biology. Here we are discussing the chapter sexual reproduction in flowering plants. In first class I described you what are the major floral parts. Okay, here I am giving a detailed description of the floral parts. Okay, so it was not be seen in your textbook, so make a note. Okay, so the flower is the sexual reproductive part of the angiosperm. Flower is the main sexual reproductive part of the angiosperm. The branch of ornamental horticulture concerned with growing and marketing ornamental flowers is known as floriculture. Floriculture. The branch of ornamental horticulture concerned with growing and marketing of ornamental flowers is called floriculture. Okay. In a flower, 4 different set of whorls. Whorls means floral members. Whorls spelling WHORLS. Whorls or floral members are attached to the central axis. Okay, base of the flower contain a circle or round shaped structure that is known as thalamus or receptacle. Clear it is? Then the outermost and the first accessory whorl is sepal and is called calyx. Why it is known as accessory means they have no direct role in sexual reproduction. That's why they are known as accessory whorl. Okay, but they are needed for the reproduction. So the outermost first accessory whorl is the sepal and is called calyx. Okay, so the sepals are green or inconspicuously colored and more or less foliaceous in texture, serving primarily to protect flower in its bud stage. Okay, when the sepals are fused together, the term we studied in the plus 1 portion, when the sepals are fused together calyx, it is known as gamosepalous. Okay, when they are free in calyx, it is known as polysepalous. So sepals are the part of calyx. When they are fused, that is known as gamosepalous, and they are free, that is known as polysepalous. Clear? So here this is the green color portion you can see here, that is this is the sepal. Okay. So here the sepals are free, that means it is a polysepalous. Then this portion receptacle, I told you the receptacle portion, swollen end of axis to which floral leaves are attached. Okay, then next to the receptacle, the portion that is known as pedicel. This is a receptacle portion and this is the stalk like portion that is known as pedicel. Pedicel act as a stalk of flower. Clear? Pedicel act as stalk of flower. Then the secondary accessory whorl is corolla. So which was the first one? First one is calyx and the secondary accessory whorl is corolla. The part of the corolla is petal. Clear? So all together these are known as corolla. Separately these are known as petals. Okay. Petals are mostly brightly colored. Why they are brightly colored? For attracting the pollinators. Okay. Then their main function is to attract insects for pollination. Then the corolla with free petal is known as free polypetalous, and they are fused, that is known as gamopetalous, same as that of the gamosepalous and the polysepalous. Clear? So the corolla is free, that is known as polypetalous, and the corolla with fused petal, that is known as gamopetalous. I think all these portions we studied in last year, but surely you will forget it. Okay. The next portion is carpel. Next portion is carpel, otherwise known as pistil. So this portion carpel, otherwise known as pistil. So carpel constitute the fourth and the innermost floral whorl. Then it is known as gynoecium. It contains ovary style stigma. Okay. Then inside the ovary contain ovule. Inside the ovary contain ovule. And the ovary bears ovum or embryo sac. Okay. Ovary bears. Ovary contains ovule. Inside the ovule, what will happen? What can we see? Inside the ovule, embryo sac or ovum is present. Okay. Then the next portion is the third portion. Okay. The third portion is the androecium. Androecium. Next to the corolla, it's a male reproductive part is androecium. It consisting of stamen. Stamen means it consisting of anther and the filament. The anthers are connected by connective. Okay. Then two-lobed anther. If the anther are two-lobed, so in this figure we can see the two-lobed anther. But in all flower, the anthers are not seen in two-lobed. Okay. So this two-lobed anther is known as dithecous. D-I-T-H-E C-O-U-S. Dithecous. Okay. Dithecous. While one-lobed anther is known as, what was the one-lobed anther? Two is known as dithecous. Then one-lobed anther is known as monothecous. Clear it is? Monothecous. Okay. Then the anther, inside the anther, it contain it contain pollen sacs. Okay, pollen mother cells are formed inside the anther. The process of formation of the microspores are known as microsporogenesis. Okay, so the microsporangium is covered by 4 layers: epidermis, endothelium, middle layer, and tapetum. Okay, epidermis and the second layer endothelium, they are a single layer. But the middle layer, the third layer, middle layer consisting of 1 to 3 layers. Clear it is? Epidermis and endothelium seen in single layer, but the middle layer seen in 1 to 3 layers. Okay. Then the fourth layer is innermost layer is the tapetum. Tapetum contains cytoplasm and the nuclei. The center of each microsporangium is filled with closely arranged similar cells that are known as sporogenous tissue. Okay. They later get converted into the pollen mother cell. Okay, pollen mother cell. Pollen mother cells undergoes meiotic division to form clusterospore cells known as microspore tetrad. On maturity, the anther dehydrates and the microspores separate from each other to form pollen grains. Okay. Then the pollen grain having two covering, that is known as exine and the intine. Pollen grain having two covering, that is known as exine and the intine. Okay. Exine contains sporopollenin. Exine made up of sporopollenin. Okay, that we discussed in our first class. Exine is made up of sporopollenin that help to preserve as a fossil. Okay. Then the intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Exine cover all the part except in the portion of the germ pore. Then the intine is very soft portion. Okay. Then the exine appears first as a thin layer but later become considerably thick and differentiated into two layers, ectexine and end exine. Clear? At first, at the maturation of the pollen grains, exine seen in a single layer. When the pollen grain get matured, the exine having two layers. The outer first layer is known as ectexine. E-K-T-E. Ectexine. E-K-T-E-X-I-N. Okay. Then the inner layer, it is known as endexine. E-N-D-E-X-I-N-E. Okay. These two layers. Then the exine is a chiefly composed of sporopollenin. Sporopollenin is absent in the pollen grains of Zostera. The type of Zostera plant, sporopollenin is not present. So please be careful with the term Zostera. Zostera groups, pollen grains have no pollen grains are not made up of sporopollenin. Okay, the thin areas of exon are called germ pores or germ slits. Then they helping for the process of the pollen tube germination. Helping for the process of pollen tube germination. Clear it is. Then the next stage is the formation of the microsporogenesis. Okay, the formation of the microspore, that is known as microsporogenesis. Okay. You can get any idea from this picture. Bee pollen from England. This is the pictures of the pollen products. Okay. Pollen grains are used as a commercial product. So what are the features of this pollen grain? Pollen grains are enriched with nutrients. So they are used as pollen tablets and pollen syrups. The pollen food supplements are found to be effective in increasing performance of the athletes and racehorses. Clear it is. Pollen grain food supplement increasing the performance of the athletes and racehorses. So it is giving a boosting effect. Okay. Then certain plant pollen grains are allergens that makes asthma, bronchitis and that type of respiratory problems. For example, for the pollen grain that causes allergy, that is carrot grass plant, Parthenium hysterophorus. Parthenium hysterophorus is causing allergies like dermatitis and respiratory malfunctions in human. Dermatitis means skin diseases. Okay, so the name of the plant is carrot grass plant. The scientific name is Parthenium hysterophorus. Parthenium hysterophorus. Clear it is. Parthenium hysterophorus. Another example is Acacia. The flower of Acacia causes this type of lungs diseases in some patients. Okay. Then the next is pollen viability. Pollen viability. Pollen viability varies from few minutes as 30 minutes in rice and wheat to several months in some members of the family Rosaceae, Leguminosae, Solanaceae. So we are protecting this pollen grains or store this pollen grain in a liquid nitrogen. Okay, the temperature of the liquid nitrogen is minus 196 degrees Celsius. It is known as pollen bank. Pollen bank is a part of the ex situ conservation. Two type of conservation is there: ex situ conservation and in situ conservation. So we are conserving the organism on their source, on their particular area. On-site conservation, that is known as in situ conservation, and the off-site cultivation, that is known as ex situ conservation. So pollen bank is a type of the ex situ conservation. We conserving or storing the pollen grains in liquid nitrogen. The temperature is minus 196 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the pollen viability varies from few minutes as 30 minutes in rice and wheat to several months in members like the Rosaceae, Leguminosae group. Clear? Then next we are discussing about male gametogenesis. Male gamete develop within the pollen grains. Okay, hence the pollen grains are known as gametophyte of the angiosperm. Okay, on maturation the pollen grain shows vegetative cells and the generative cell. On maturation, the pollen grain shows two type of cells: vegetative cells and the generative cell. Okay, the vegetative cell is large, has abundance, which stores food and large. Okay, and it having irregularly shaped nucleus. Clear? Vegetative cell is large and it contains irregularly shaped nucleus. Okay, but this generative cell is spindle shape with dense cytoplasm. On maturation, the pollen grains contain two cells, vegetative cells and the generative cells. Clear? Vegetative cells and the generative cells. Vegetative cells is bigger with the irregularly shaped nucleus. It has abundant food storage. Okay, main function of the part is food storage. Clear it is? Then the generative cell is spindle shape with dense cytoplasm. Okay, in case of angiosperms, over 60% of angiosperms, the pollen grains are shed off at this two-celled stage. Over 60% of angiosperm, the pollen grains are shed off at this two-celled stage. Okay, the generative cell floats in the vegetative cell. Okay, so these are the vegetative cell and this one is the generative cell. This generative cell floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. On maturation, the generative cell give rise to two male gametes. That means two male nuclei. Clear it is? Firstly, the pollen grains have two cells, vegetative cell and generative cell. Most of the case of angiosperms, they will be shed off at this stage. But when they are getting maturing, okay, enhanced, they have the ability to withstand the condition. The generative cells get divided into two. From the generative cells, give rise to two male gamete. Okay, soon after its maturation, then the pollen grains are shed at three-celled stage. Okay, so the formation of the male gametes from the generative nucleus, that is known as male gametogenesis. Clear it is? Formation of the male gametes. Two male gametes are formed from the generative cell. Okay, that is known as male gametogenesis. Clear it is? Male gametogenesis. Okay, once again I tell you, the pollen grain having two cells, vegetative cell and generative cells. In over 60% of angiosperm, the pollen grains are shed at the two-celled stage. In others, the generative cell divides mitotically to give rise to. Generative cell divides mitotically. Okay, generative cell divides mitotically and gives rise to a three-celled stage. Clear it is? The viability of pollen grains after they are shed depends on the prevailing temperature and the humidity. The viability of the pollen grain after they are shed depends on the prevailing temperature and the humidity. Okay, then I told you that the viability of pollen grains are changes from different species to different type of species. Some members like Leguminaceae and Rosaceae, viability lasts for some months. Okay, and in case of rice and wheat, it's lasts for some minutes only. Clear it is? Mature anther has two chambers. Mature anther has two chambers due to the disorganization of the wall layers between the two microsporangia of each another lobe. When the pollen matures, the anther breaks and the pollen grains are liberated through the stomium of the anther wall. We studied that the Dithecus, in case of this Dithecus anther having two lobes, they are connected by the connective. Okay, on that case, the pollen grains at the time of digestion, okay, the pollen grains are liberated through the stomium region of the anther wall. Through the stomium region of the anther wall. Okay, pollen grains are liberated in the form of yellow dust for pollination. When we test the hibiscus plant, we can the pollen grains are attached into our hands. Okay, so the pollen grains are having the yellow dust shape, yellow dust in nature. The pollen grains are liberated in the form of yellow dust for pollination. Clear it is? Then I told you that this pollen grain having some ecological importance. That means pollen grains of some plants make causes that we know. Example that is Parthenium or carrot grass. Then it causes asthma and bronchitis. Instead of this, they are used in case of athletes and racehorses to increase their performance. Okay, these pollen grains are rich in nutrients and so they are used as a pollen tablets or food supplements. Clear it is? So this is about the male gamete. This is about the male gamete. So I hope all you can understand the points that I discussed here. No need of again telling. Okay, so once more for my satisfaction, I again describing you the portions: androecium, male reproductive part, androecium stamen, and the lobes. And the lobes contain 4 microsporangia. Then microsporangium having layers: epidermis, endothelium, middle layers, and tapetum. When it is having the pollen mother cell, okay, pollen mother cell or megaspore mother cell. Then this is the picture of the anther. This is the picture of the anther. Here you can clearly see in the anther filament connective. This is the dithecus. Here the butterfly shaped structure. No, this is the pollen sacs. Pollen sacs. All these are very important. Draw in your notebook 5 times. Okay. Then the first figure is the transverse section. This is the mature section. Then the dehiscence is seeing in these pictures. Okay. Then this here it is describing the process of the microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis, the cell having vegetative cell and the generative cell, and it is covered by the exine and ingine and the germ pore portion. Okay, exine contains sporopollenin, and ingine is made up of cellulose and pectin. Clear it is? Then the most of the angiosperms are shed off in this 2-cell stage. Vegetative 2-cell stage means it having the vegetative cell and the generative cell. Then we discussed about the pollen grain which causes allergies. Then making allergens: Parthenium hysterophorus, carrot grass plant. Okay. Then we discussed about pollen viability, and this is a picture of the section of mature 2-celled pollen grain of an angiosperm. Okay, so you have to draw all those figures in your notebook very clearly. Then you send to me after draw the pictures. Okay, then exine, ingine, germ pore. What is the function of this germ pore? The germ pore helps in the dehiscence of the pollen grain, and through the stomium of the anther wall, the pollen grains comes out. Okay, so at the time of fertilization, pollen tube is erased through this germ pore portion. Pollen tube is erased through this germ pore portion. Clear it is? Then we discussed about the importance of the bee pollen and the pollen products and its speciality. Then I told you that most of the cases in 2-cell stage will shed off. In some cases it will be last. Then from the generative cells, the 2 male nuclei or the 2 male gametes will be producing. So that is known as a 3rd cell stage. That is known as 3rd cell stage. On this 3rd cell stage, mainly the process microsporogenesis is completed. Microsporogenesis process is completing in this 3rd stage. Clear it is? Microsporogenesis. Okay. Then the next topic is female portion, that means female gametophyte portion, like that. And then what is pollination? Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to stigma. Okay, so here the pollen grains is formed. The next process is transfer of this pollen grains from anther to stigma. Okay, for that purpose the organisms required. Always require agent. Okay, pollinating agents for the pollination. Clear? It is pollinating agents for the pollination. Okay, so I hope all you can understand this portion. So here I am winding up this portion. Thank you.